Hello out there. It's Black Friday.
Not Black Friday here.
Ooh. Well, you might want to back up. You might want to back it up just a little bit, Brian, so you can show it off. Back it up.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Show
Ooh.
There you go.
I'll even give you this.
It's solo.
Oh.
Solo shot.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Without a doubt, Colts fan extraordinaire.
It's a
Brian.
cold day in Bronco Country.
Yeah, you guys brought
Yeah.
the fog.
Man.
Dense
It
fog.
was
Dense
a good
fog.
game.
They did. They brought the fog
yeah.
last night.
A good game of poor coaching, bad refereeing,
Oh my gosh.
and offensive turnovers.
Yes.
Yeah. It was,
Welcome to the show where we don't always talk about real estate. We also talk about football. You're welcome, fans
And everything
out there,
else.
and
We're
everything
all
else.
yeah.
The lovely Shannon Kreckler
Hello.
couldn't have said it better
Yes.
myself.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Girl,
you're
you're-
welcome. I'm all of it.
Top notch. Top notch. So good. So good.
Yep.
Hey, it's going to be a real barn
Yep.
burner, though.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
We got a
Right.
good show for you today.
Messing around.
Not messing
gonna be-
around.
Nah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I do want to say Shannon was the first to send me all the Bronco memes this morning.
Yes,
So,
I had to. They were
so
really good.
they were pretty hilarious. I think we'll
Would've
see a
been good
couple
for
of
you to
those.
share those. We could have shared those.
Well,
Right
there's
here on
some
this-
of
on
them
this
had
We have-
like video and there were context and you
Yeah.
know I had probably 5 different text conversations going last night with different Broncos fans and family
Yeah.
and whatnot, and I just couldn't handle any more of the
Tears.
bummer.
The tears.
What a bummer. What was that? Our
Yeah.
team, meh. Like all of the nonsense around it. Granny J was probably the nicest. Sure, she was like, well, hopefully they get it together on the next
Aw,
one.
that's so sweet.
You know, versus another one was like, these guys suck. Well, oh my
I'm
god.
not going to jump on that train.
Yeah.
No,
You know, to hate
I will.
my people,
I will
man.
say. I will say the Bronco fans. Jake and I were at the game, and the Bronco fans were amazingly fun. I mean, they had a really good sense
That's
of
what's
humor.
up.
about
Oh,
it.
that
It
is
was-
good.
I love to hear that.
Did you see
Yeah.
the WrestleMania guys out there that look like the WrestleMania guys?
awesome.
They were freaking hilarious.
WrestleMania.
So they were dressed up as
Yeah.
wrestlers,
Hulk Hogan
like Hulk
and-
Hogan and Randy
Okay.
Macho
Another-
Man
Might have
Savage.
been- yeah, there you go.
And then
Yeah.
they had a sign that said WrestleMania. And then there's a couple of other guys that they always show that are in suits. I almost
yeah.
texted. I
Saw the
almost
suits.
texted you. Yeah, I almost texted you, Brian,
Yeah.
to be like, if you could go find them and get a picture,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
But I
next
didn't
time.
want
They
to
wouldn't- they
add
wouldn't
to
take
your.
a picture with Brian, though, those dudes.
They might have.
Oh, they definitely would.
in his Colts jersey.
They
on.
might
Yeah,
have.
they would have
They might
been.
have.
A little
Come
off.
on.
Be like, I'm sorry, guys. My business partner really requested this picture. We'll do
Yeah.
a free CMA for your house.
Hey, I will say that Floyd Little, before he passed, he did take pictures with Jake and I.
Oh,
When
Oh, dude.
Jake was
Oh.
a kid, and he was
Legend.
like, you're wearing the wrong team, and I said, Floyd, you could have been, on the Colts. We would have happily taken you.
wow.
And he was a gentleman about it. He took pictures with Jake and I, so I always appreciated how nice he was about it. So
That's awesome.
yeah, he was
Well,
great for it.
I'm glad you guys got to go. I think that we've got a really great show for everybody today, being as though
Yeah.
we talked about some content and some great things that we've got going on. So I'm
Yeah,
super
I've dried
excited.
my tears. It's fine.
I'm dry.
fine.
I just drank a coffee.
Everything's
We're all
fine.
revved up.
Yeah.
We're ready
Yeah,
to talk
we're
about
ready.
it. Yep,
Let's go.
exactly.
Yeah.
We've got some fun stuff going on. It's October the 7th today, if y'all
Yeah.
didn't know. Broncos
Fun
and
fact.
Colts played last night up in the Empower Field in Denver, and Great American Beer Festival is going on. Wow. Great American Beer Festival is going on all weekend.
Yeah.
Is it at the Denver Coliseum?
No, it's at
Convention
the
Center.
Convention Center.
It was
Yeah.
a madhouse.
I don't.
Madhouse down
I
there.
don't blame it.
For the-
I don't doubt it.
Previous life.
yeah.
Previous life, not my favorite place to go. And it sounds really, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I don't
listen,
know.
For a lot of people, it's great.
Yeah.
Lots of
Good beers.
people that have worked so
Yeah.
hard to like see their accomplishments,
Right.
achieve those medals. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for them, it's everything, and for like a small
Yeah.
brewery, it's everything. No
Yep.
doubt about that. And
Yeah.
and the culture is incredibly like connected there.
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
there is
without a doubt.
there is something about it. We just It does. You drink a lot of beer.
You drink a lot of beer.
That's kind of how that
and
works.
that's part of it.
And you plan accordingly. Like when I would work, I would have to be there the entire time.
Oh, he was gone all weekend.
And my hotel was walking distance from the convention center for a reason because I was tasting beers and there was no way that I was going to. He
couldn't drive home. And then he would be out in the middle of the night at restaurants eating breakfast. It was bad. My gosh. So all those breakfast joints are slamming right now. Yeah, he was very committed.
He's all in.
Yes. So then we shifted from selling beer to selling houses, and we've got a couple of great ones for sale right now. So let's talk about that.
Man,
so this one right here is in Littleton, Colorado, 9432 West Unser Avenue. List price, Brian, is $650. Yes.
$650. Yep.
Yep.
This house is
great house.
Main floor master. Formal dining room along with an extra living room, open concept kitchen. It's got kind of everything. So,
and you said the location
backyard.
is really great, which we all know location is everything.
It's it's like a couple blocks, literally a couple of blocks of you could walk to Deer Creek. You could walk to Deer Creek Canyon, so you could go hiking. There's golf in the area. There's mountain biking. There's fishing. There's tons of other stuff just in and around this little area.
Botanical gardens, golfing. You said, yep.
Yeah, the botanical gardens. From Denver has their location out there. It's right next to Chatfield. I mean, it's just a cool area. So
good looking house. Nice
it's
area.
A great house. Great nice area. Listing. Yeah. Margaret's hosting an open house today from 1 to 4 if you're out and about. And then Sunday, October 9th from 10 to noon. So if you need any more details on that, we'll post below in the comments, and please share with a friend. And then Jamie also has this really great listing over in Aurora. It's a condo, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit near, I have to look at the trail. She texted me this morning and told me I spelt something wrong. It was pretty funny.
So this is right, so like Aurora,
Tollgate.
So southeast Aurora.
Yep.
Tollgate is the trail that's literally right behind this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And this has it has everything as far as extras, but this has a garage, which is even better.
Yep.
And it's it's an end unit. I mean, it's a
great price point too, $350.
Yeah,
I think.
$350.
And then the low HOA, which is nice, and then easy access to 470, 225, wherever you got to go for your commute. So it's a great,
especially
great
Buckley.
property.
Yeah, it's close to Buckley, all that. So I mean, it's awesome.
Shout out to my friends at Buckley. What's up, guys?
What's up?
And then once the open house on this one, I got to tell you the address too. It is it is 3258 South Zeno Court, Unit C. List price $250, 2 beds, 2 baths, 988 square feet. Cool house.
Yep.
Sorry,
tomorrow is.
My bad.
Yeah, I think tomorrow it's 10 to 12 or. Yeah, it is 10 to 12.
Okay, so perfect.
If you want
to come out there and check it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice weekend too, so that's fun. And then we have our listing here in the Springs. We just adjusted the price.
Price improvement.
The price is right, guys. Come on down.
You're the next contestant.
You are the next, contestant. That's right. Price is Right. I love that show. Oh, yeah. And then you got your listing under contract, Brian, over in Castle Rock. Nice job. Up on that. I bet our sellers are happy. So congratulations there.
And Jamie, she's the co-listing. Yep. And then that property is just amazing, great neighborhood. 3-car garage. It's one of the only ones in that neighborhood that's a 3-car garage. So
that's sweet.
Gotta love a 3-car.
Lots of storage. Put your stuff in there, guys.
No doubt.
Or
about this one?
Have a toy car.
Yep. So this one was recently sold by our colleagues up in the Glenwood Aspen area by Stephanie and Peter. They sold their listing. So the sellers,
awesome.
Oh my gosh, they were so excited. Made the sellers a little bit of walking around money, a lot of walking around money, I should say. Yeah. So they were very happy
beautiful
for that.
listing.
Yeah, really beautiful house, and the views, I can't even tell you how incredible they were.
Yeah.
So
the views from the backyard are just
insane, insane.
Crazy.
And then with the trees up there right now, I bet it's just even more fun.
Yeah,
so,
without
and then
doubt.
congrats on your buyers that you just got, buyers/good friends who just closed a great house.
Yep. Casey and Cassie just got this bad boy under contract, and
it's a feel-good story.
It's a feel-good story.
Close super
You got
fast.
a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like 16 days from contract to close.
Ooh,
we're happy for
well, shout out to the lender on that one.
Yeah.
That was Kelly. Yeah,
Kelly Murphy
coming through. Kelly Murphy.
We should call her that. Kelly Murphy coming through.
Yeah.
She's doing a fun headshots and cocktails thing coming up too, so that's
Kelly
fun.
Murphy.
Yeah,
she's the bomb.
Yeah, we're coming to see you, Kelly.
Yep,
bringing the whole team.
Yeah. So yeah, this is my girlfriend Christina and my girls. We went out to her house last weekend. She's got 40 acres out in Peyton. She was doing a housewarming party after living in her house for about a year and a half. Invited a bunch of friends to come and stay, and they brought their campers. We didn't stay, of course. We came home, but we got to ride around on her four-wheelers and shoot the BS here for a little bit. It was so much fun. My girls
looks really amused.
Yeah, she had so much fun riding this four-wheeler. The girls, Christina literally was cruising around on this four-wheeler back and forth, and then one of her friends took off on the little four-wheeler, and she freaking ripped it. I mean, when she got off and she was doing wheelies with the dirt and all of that, and when she got off, I was like, Jenny, just so you know, you never get to drive my children on that four-wheeler ever, because she was just cranking it. So
give it to her though.
Yeah, she ripped it. I do not have that kind of lack
wheelies?
of fear.
Really?
She was ripping it. It was insane.
Wheelies or donuts?
Donuts.
Okay, donuts.
I don't know.
Easier to pull up.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah. A wheelie on that, you're seriously
You're not joking around.
She's not. That's literally what she was doing. She was not messing around.
Yeah.
And then add a little beer action going on in there. No, you're not messing with my children on there.
Get some jumps.
Amazing.
Yeah, so speaking of children, Christmas is coming. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have started to think about it, but I'm thinking about it. So it's kind of
thinking about
it's driving me nuts right now.
I'm walking through Home Depot, and I'm looking at all the sweet. I love Halloween. So Halloween's my favorite holiday to go, have a good time, scare some people. And they have all the animatronics. They have all the fun Halloween stuff, and it smells like cinnamon and all the fun Halloween stuff. And then right next to it is all the Christmas stuff. Literally. And I'm
our neighbor across the street, give
it a week.
He said it was a Halloween tree.
They have a Christmas tree up,
but
it's a Christmas
tree.
They
do?
It's
what is it bats and stuff on it or something?
Pretty much, but it's a Christmas Halloween tree. But you can't mix the two right now. You're confusing people.
Apparently he does.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
But then it's like the warm cinnamon and everything for pumpkin spice everything in Home Depot, and then right next to it is all the Christmas stuff. And I'm
that's
just
confusing.
Give it a week.
Let us hand out the Halloween candy, and then you can do all of that. Let us get our fall on. Let me break out my boots with the fur.
Did you have something you wanted to say about this here? Sorry, my bad.
No, I want to talk about Christmas coming.
Okay.
It's just on my mind.
I wish I had some sleigh bells or.
You can do that pretty soon, I'm sure.
We'll sing.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
Not right now. Oh no. But yeah, so it was back to the Bronco Country. So it was a sad day yesterday for Bronco Country, and I found this meme online, of course, and everybody that knows about Russell Wilson says that there's a phrase that says let Russ cook, and that's what we all say. We're like, let Russ cook, let him cook, let him cook. Why doesn't Russ get out there and cook? And then Russ says,
it's funny because actually on the Audible commercial he does
say let me cook. Yeah, he's so funny. He's cooking on that commercial. It's a good one. And then this picture says Broncos Mile High Stadium catches on fire, heavy smoke and damage. That's Russ cooking on Empower Field.
Well,
super
cooking,
sad.
It is sad.
That
makes me sad.
Okay, go to something happy.
And then
Shanny's
it's a
cooking.
chilly day. There's a nip in the air. There's icy fog out there.
It's really cold out.
It's cold.
So we decided to make chili today, and we used my brother-in-law Mark's beer, Living the Dream. So shout out to Mark and his brewery.
Let's hope they win at GABF.
Yep, they're up at GABF doing it.
Right?
Oh, they are. Oh,
yeah.
sweet. That'll be awesome.
So that's why we're talking about it, because
bring home some medals, boys.
Bring home some medals and some good beer, Mark. See you Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bring home the medals.
We have chili.
Yep, exactly. And then, look at you guys. You and Jakey.
Yeah.
Yep, up at the game.
Having a good time.
Yep, looks like you had good seats. So that's
we had great
fun.
seats.
Yeah.
Our sister-in-law and her dad gave us their season tickets, so they let us.
They gave you the tickets?
Yeah, I was
for
like,
the whole season?
No, just for the game.
Oh, for the game.
And,
Do
they
they
told
have
us we
any
couldn't
other?
wear. They said we couldn't wear Colt stuff, so I sent them the picture and said, "Not a Colts thing around us."
Oh.
So.
Oh my gosh, that's not very nice. That's not very nice.
It wasn't.
Well, you'll have
They're
to let us know if they want
sports.
any more. If they want to give away any more tickets, we'll go.
We will
oblige the Bronco
we will
garb.
wear the right colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we will unite in orange.
We will unite in orange. Well, speaking of the game last night, when we were watching it, I was going to text you, Brian, and tell you, I hope you didn't leave crying. So I was like, Brian's going to leave the stadium crying along with Ryan. And Ryan is the quarterback for the Colts.
The whole time.
He was crying the whole time until the very end, and then he was
wasn't.
super happy. So
So it was the 6 sacks, that 2 interceptions.
Everybody else cry.
Yeah. It was a good game. I'm glad you guys got to go and spend some time together. And then it brings me to our topic today, which I think is really important for our people to understand.
Wait.
Know the
Before
difference.
we get to our topic,
gosh, here we go.
Okay,
go ahead.
Here
we go. Show us.
I created something to illustrate, how Brian is really just crushing it here.
Oh.
Look,
yes. Touchdown. Or maybe a field goal.
Wow, field goal. There were no touchdowns to be had. Yeah.
Oh, too soon. Soon. Well, that was nice, Chris. That was a good little.
That was nice.
That was a nice little display that you added to the screen.
Yeah, try hard.
But no, I wanted to talk about the difference in agency relationships with your real estate agent. So what that means for you as a buyer or a seller, and what the different type of relationships that you enter into when you choose a real estate agent to work with, and how that all chalks up. And then we're going to kind of coordinate it to football, because that's something fun that we're talking about, and put it in perspective that you might not understand.
I love it. Cool.
I think it's a great opportunity to talk about it. And then at the beginning of that, I do want to preface, when you do decide to start working with somebody in your real estate transaction, whether you're investing, buying, selling, whatever that looks like, renting, doing leases, whatever, who you work with matters. The people that you choose to hire, it matters. And what we always tell our people, hands down, is hire somebody that you like. Hire somebody you trust. Hire somebody that you'd recommend. Like, it is imperative at the end of it.
Along with,
so
you value their opinion.
You're gonna spend
advice.
time with each other. So make sure you like them.
Right.
If it's not us, that's okay. We'll find you somebody you like. It's okay. So
it's always us.
It's always us.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean, one of us will take great care of you. Don't worry.
Yes, we're a fine wine, but
well, we have lots of options.
You do have lots of options, so just keep that in mind, and it's important. So I thought it would be fun to talk about. So
I mean, just jumping in
football form.
Football
form.
Football.
So last night, I mean, this maybe not be the best analogy of coaching, but you had Hackett Hackett for the Broncos, and you had Frank Wright for the Colts, right?
Yep.
And those are your head coaches, and that's if you hired a buyer agent or a seller agent, they would be your head coach, right?
Yes.
So as the head coach goes, and this is think of it in the simplistic terms of if Matt Ryan is out there, he's not running across the field, and Shannon and I were talking about this. Mm-hmm. He's not running over to Hackett and saying, "Hey, coach,
what do I do?
What do you think I should call here? Do you think I should call a long bomb, a run play?"
Yep.
Right. So think of it like as a buyer agent. You wouldn't, as the buyer, go to the seller agent and say, what should I do?
Right.
You would go to your head coach, your buyer agent, and
Yep.
you would say, hey, give me some coaching, give me some advice. Tell me
Absolutely.
what I should do. This is there's a lot of, what should I ask for in the inspection? What are the things that, as far as what should I offer? I need to get money for my down payment, or I need to do this. Again, you wouldn't call the other head coach, the seller agent, and say,
right.
hey, what do you think about that? Right. And I think there's a lot of confusion about that sometimes, as people don't explain that very well. And so think of it in just head coaching. The football players are out on the field, are not running to the opposing bench and saying, help me,
How do I
help.
win the game? How do I win?
Right.
I love it. That's a good
and and then always think of like the transaction broker as a referee.
Before you do that, explain what a transaction broker is, because just because we know what it is doesn't mean everybody else does.
Great point. So transaction broker means the agent in the process is not representing either party. They are just there to share the rules, and they're to show you how the game is played, and show you how to avoid getting into trouble. So an example
of this would be a scenario where, like, you've got a listing, but you also have a buyer. So you go from being the buyer's agent on one side or the seller's agent, and you combine the two, represent the transaction, not either party involved.
Let's give some examples of the way that would work. Why that would work. Sure.
So we've done a bunch of these.
Yes.
So this is this year alone, we've seen, where we've had people that were tenants buy a property from their landlord.
That's a really common.
We've seen off market properties where there's a buyer looking, and we find a property off market that matches the criteria, and we're not representing either one of them at that point. We're just doing the paperwork and helping them with the rules and everything else. So that it happens probably 20% of our transactions is probably what maybe 15% of all of our transactions that are our transactional broker.
Right.
And so think of it in that sense of, again, you can't run to the ref and say, hey, ref. There are a couple examples last night of like where the Broncos, got a play or two because the ref tripped our defender. But I digress. But you wouldn't run up to the ref and say, hey, ref, like, what play do you think I should run? Does it look like, what kind of defense are they running? Do you think I should run a run up the middle, or a pass, right? You would go to the referee and say, hey, the rule says this. And then the rule would be interpreted by the referee, and then they would give clarity to both parties. Right. And so, even if your ref sometimes says, San Diego took a timeout during an Indianapolis game. I don't know. I'm just, throwing out like some spitball things here. But the big pieces in here are the referee is just helping guide the process. They're representing the transaction.
Right.
They're not representing parties. So they're completely unbiased. They're just there to help make sure that everything moves along smoothly and is following the letter of the law.
Absolutely. And then that was great, Brian. Thanks for clarifying that. I think, like I said, it's just important that people understand, because we always explain it with our contracts when we review that, but I think there's a lot of misconception out there with that, like, hey, I'm just going to go to the seller and just make a deal with him. Well, how are you going to do that? Because the seller's agent is working for the seller and is their head coach. So who are they working for? And are they going to allow you to come in and just do that? And how does that whole scenario even work? So what rules, or how would you say that? What rules or regulations are different for seller's agents, buyer's agent versus transaction broker? It's just moving the deal along on transaction broker versus like, I'm going to coach you and say, this is what we're going to ask for on the offer, or this is we're going to ask for an inspection. This is what we won't do on inspection. That's kind of the protecting your money scenario.
Yeah. So think of like your head coach, right? Your head coach is telling you, hey, here's what we're going to offer. Here's what we're going to ask for an inspection. Here's, all these other pieces, right? In a transaction relationship, the transactional broker relationship, you're going to share like basically both sides. Well, here's what commonly happens, right? So on off-market property that we did for the tenants that bought the property just last couple months, we basically presented a broker price opinion of that property. The two parties came to an agreement on what they were going to pay, who was going to do what, is there going to be any inspections items. We just wrote it up and did the documentation and everything else for it, and then helped them stay inside of the guidelines of making sure everything was hitting its deadlines, making sure that if they had the opportunity to inspect, if there was an objection, if there's anything else. So again, we were just following the transaction along.
And you move it along. Yep.
And you move it along, right? Where just, like the one with Casey and Cassie, we were able to, get that property, $35,000 under list price. We were able to get $5,000 additional in concessions towards closing costs.
Yep.
We were able to get, some other pieces negotiated in the inspection items. And, they were coming to me to say, Coach, what do we do? Right.
Yep.
Where if that were a transactional piece, as a transactional broker, we wouldn't be able to give them that advice.
Right. So it's really important, you guys, to understand the difference.
Right.
And why you want to hire that person, and what we can do for you that's different than somebody else. So everybody has a different skill set and brings different things to the table.
And let me throw this out too. We list a lot of properties. We get a lot of calls from people that say, I want you to represent both of us. And
all the time.
That's a misconception because we don't have dual agency in Colorado. We cannot represent both of you. Right. You can't serve two masters. So you got to look at it in that sense.
If you are representing somebody as a buyer and they do get into that situation, they obviously need to know that hey, I'm stepping down from representing you to being the transactional broker because this is my listing or whatever the scenario is.
Well, both parties have to be in agreement.
Yeah, everybody has to agree.
If you change your agency, and we have contracts to
writing,
fulfill in that. Yeah, we have to actually we have to explain all of it and say, hey, I'm taking off my head coach hat here, and you guys have to agree to that, and I'm going to put on a referee jacket.
Which can make a lot of difference.
It really does.
You lose your head coach, like we all know.
Right. Right. And that part, like people call and they say, well, I want you just to cut your commission and, save me some money. But folks, remember the transactional relationship and all that, that's already pre-negotiated per the listing contract. So you're not saving money. It's not helping you not being represented. What it's doing is it's potentially taking away your ability to have a head coach. Right. And I'm not trying to deter people from doing one or the other. You're your own, best.
Sometimes it's the right situation.
Yeah, it just depends. Everybody's different.
Yeah. But if you're doing it to save a little bit of money, I feel like you're stepping over $100 bills to pick up a quarter. And that's kind of the best
leaving
analogy I can
yourself wide
share
open
with
that.
For sure. That's a really great way to say that.
Right. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. Yay.
Yeah.
I do like that. That was really good.
Yeah.
I like how you guys came up with that. Thank you for filling me in because it was kind of, I didn't know.
You didn't know. Because I had you working on getting ready and it was spinning around in my head. And last time before we got on our recording for the Real Talk Real Estate show, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out what we were going to talk about, and I wanted to eliminate that today because I had a great idea and I wanted to make sure it worked, so I had it all kind of situated. But speaking of, next week we're off because Chris is going to be out showing clients, so you guys are going to have to hold off, or maybe we'll try to do it on a different day. We've been trying to record on Fridays or put it out on Fridays, so we have some consistency for y'all. But the following week, we have a really special guest coming on, and I'm going to talk about that later on too. So stay tuned for that. If you all ever have any suggestions, or you want to be a guest, or you know somebody that could be a guest, let me know, because we'd love to have them on the show. It's so much fun.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any ideas, show ideas, things that you guys want us to talk more about?
Yep, I've got so many ideas.
More Colt stuff,
more Broncos. Oh, there we go again. Here comes the sadness. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
All right.
Bye.